you are coming here to start this first day off in a good way in global unified prayer so that we can reach the hearts and minds of people observing and people negotiating, and more importantly, that we can come together and really broadcast a future that is healthy, just, and livable.
Vulnerable populations are not just subject to the effects of climate change, but they're actually on the front lines and on the forefront of change, and they're the ones innovating with incredibly limited resources.
I think it's an imperative that global leaders, and actually most leaders, recognize human rights as central to adaptation strategies, and that how we approach adaptation should be grounded in justice, equity, and integrity.
There are trillions and trillions of dollars at risk over the next several years if we do not invest in the kinds of solutions to protect our planet. So if you want to ask what the return on investment is, it's avoiding unmitigated disaster.
Extreme heat has to be viewed as one of the most dangerous results of the changing climate. This is not just a health issue, it is an economic issue, it's a social issue, a political issue that I'm thrilled we are really raising the visibility of.
Então, em nome da grande Mãe Terra,
So on behalf of Mother Earth,
eu peço, parem de nos matar.
I ask, stop killing us.
Parem de destruir os nossos rios sagrados.
Stop destroying our sacred rivers.
Addressing women's empowerment and resilience in the climate crisis context demands a simultaneous focus on prevention of gender-based violence, access to sexual and reproductive health rights, shifts in societal norms, women's leadership, and of course the challenge of unpaid care work.
Lasting legacy. We all have a role to play. Lasting legacy. Our tomorrow starts today. Lasting legacy. Now we can all make a change for better.
I'm very much appreciable of people talking about communities being considered with their culture, everything that they can offer. And it's one of the things that we crave in the disability community as well. We're still struggling to have that visibility and the recognition.
Adaptation is happening every day in informal settlements and are happening with such magnanimous generosity and ingenuity.
So this is an earth bag technique which is done as an alternate construction technique. So we reused these plastic bags that are otherwise used for wrapping vegetables. We upcycle them, fill them with soil, and then made them into big blocks so they can be masoned into the structure.
The problem we often have is government often operates on cycles, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But ensuring the resilience of this system requires long-term thinking, requires long-term planning. So how do we make this to become a political issue?
To look at is to frame it in a sense of the quality of the things we're producing rather than the quantity. Then we can bring in more small farmers. The profitability is not only going to be terms in dollars, but it's going to be terms in terms of human well-being, which we seem to be really missing in a lot of parts of the world, right?
People out there, they don't understand loss and damage. They don't understand when you say adaptation. They don't really understand all the jargons that we're coming up with. For them, what matters is that I've been impacted by floods, I've been impacted by hailstorms, I've been impacted by landslides. And then what's next? What's going to happen to me and what are the solutions? And they want that to be in a way that they'll be able to relate with.
Our mission, and it continues to be our mission, to change the way people think about ecosystems, not as just something to be protected, but it's also a productive and powerful engine of prosperity.
Resilience is our ability to persevere against all odds and remain true to our sacred heart spaces. That is justice, and that is what we're all building together. And now you are a warrior for justice. You're a warrior for the rights of Indigenous people. You're a warrior for the rights of nature. And to me, there is no cooler job.
I first of all want this session to be dedicated to Salim. I've said to Nate that every year we should have the first session of the Resilience Hub reporting to Salim about what we have done, because that was his relentless pursuit. So let's clap for Salim.